Right. So before we go ahead, we wanted to and specify the constructor. We wanted to explain that we need to specify a token contract over here so that we can use that to hold the address of the token we created in our previous lecture. So we will create a small contract, right, with the name, we'll call it a token, and we'll have the two functions only defined inside it. That will be the abstract function, right? We just want to define the the definition of the function, not the body, and then we will associate the address of the previously created address, or sorry, token, into this very variable. Let me show you how it works so you'll understand it. If you're not able to understand it right now, it's okay, you can go ahead and you'll understand it later, right? So it's like this: transfer, the same definition that we created earlier, address, receiver, uint, amount, right? And that's it. No need to define the function. And then second function, which will have the mint token, because we are doing this because we want to add access these two functions of the smart contract of the token which we created in the previous lecture over here. So I'll show you how this will be created used. So target uint and then minted amount, and then that's it, the curly brace, that's it. So now this smart contract, the crowd sale, will understand the definition of token over here, because so this is how it will work. So you'll create a token variable or a variable with the data type as token. Since we already have definitions available over here, so the compiler will not throw an error, right? And we'll call it a token reward. So this will be the address, this will be the address. So this will actually become a contract which will hold the address of the token which will be distributing and issuing to the funders. So suppose funder will actually give us a 5 ethers. So in exchange of their 5 ethers contribution, we want to issue 5 tokens. So how will we call that transfer function? How will we call that uh, the issue token function? So if we have this, during the time of initialization in the constructor of this crowd sale, we will put the address of the token over here, and then whenever we need, we just call the function transfer. We don't have the definition over here, but we definitely are aware that this token reward or the address from where we are actually picking the smart contract will have the definition. So we'll call this transfer and it will execute automatically. We don't need the definition here actually. So let me just show you the how the all things, the country, the constructor will work, and how we are going to initialize the crowd sale. So to initialize the crowd sale, simply just call a function and make it same as the 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 contract name. So I'm going to put it like this, putting it into the new queue, new line, so that it becomes easily readable. I'm going to call it time in minutes for fundraising. So this will, we need to pass this variable. Remember, these are the constructor variables. So we need to pass these variables to the crowd sale so that we know what we are going to do. So we call it a string, which will have the campaign URL, and then we have address, which will have if successful send to. So this variable will be the variable of the beneficiary. Remember, the person who will be receiving fund, the founder. It can be the address, it will be just an address, that's it. We don't need who that person is, what, whether it's a smart contract or it's a person or it's a robot, we don't care. We just need an address who will receive the ether, right? Next is again the maximum amount and the minimum amount. So let's call it a funding maximum target in ether. Remember, this we will receive in ether. We'll put the underscore to distinguish it, right? And then again we'll have the minimum funding minimum target in ether. So again, this will remain the ether, but this will be the minimum. Okay, so we have maximum target in ether, we have minimum target in ether, and then we need the address of the token which we'll be issuing to people as a reward. Remember, I have told you many times that we need to issue the token to everyone who will be contributing. So we need the address of the token which we want to issue to people. That's why we needed that, say, address of token used as, right? Okay, so we need this address, token used as reward, and then as last side the cost of the ether cost of each unit, right? So let's call it a ether cost of each token. So like token or gadget, whatever you can call it. So here simply we just need to specify these 3 or 3, 6 and 7 parameter during the time of the initialization of the smart contract. Then after that we need to initialize the state variables the moment we receive it. So of course the creator will become who, the message dot sender. The sender will become the creator, simple, and then beneficiary will become the, if successful then send to, this will become the beneficiary. Then the campaign URL which we have will become underscore campaign URL simply, and then funding target in V, of course. Then we need to put the maximum target here. We'll put the, how we'll put underscore funding maximum target in, sorry, not minimum, it should be maximum target in ether which we have received, of course, from here, which will put funding maximum target in ether. We need to convert it into V. To convert the ether into V, you need to type like this. That's it. So this will actually convert the ethers into V. This is actually 1 followed by 18,0. Okay, so we have again the second variable funding minimum target in V, and this will be equal to again the funding minimum target in ether multiply by 1 ether. Right, simple as that. Next is we need to create the deadline, initialize the deadline. So deadline will be, how will we create? So it will be equal to now plus, now means the current timestamp at the time of creation, plus the time in minutes is, of course, we have received the time in minutes, right? This will be multiplied by the 1 minutes, because 1 minutes will contain the 60 second. So that's it. So this will actually convert minutes into the seconds by actually specifying 1 minute, and then deadline stored into deadline by adding it into the current timestamp. So let's say if you want to create a 1 month timeline, then you need to convert the 1 month into minutes and then specify it here. Then you have to have current balance, which will be of course 0. Current balance, which will be 0 at the time of creation, and then token reward. Right, we have created a token reward variable. Now what we need to do is we need to convert or the typecast the address which they have provided, or address of token used as a reward, typecast it into a token. Remember, so what we did here over here is we converted the address of the token which we have typecasted into a token type by definition over here, and stored it into a variable token reward, which is actually a type of token. So it means now this will contain the address, or actually the smart contract or the contract, which will have two functions definitions available over here. Of course, the actual definition need to be available in this address, which we don't need here. So that's why we needed this definition, so that our smart contract or our compiler should not throw an error for the definition if we are going to use this function. So next time we need to transfer some token to someone, we need to just call token reward dot transfer. That's it. Okay, so token reward is done. Next is we need to check the price in V. So price in V will be underscore ether price cost of each token multiplied by 1 ether, right? This is how we convert the price in V. And that's it, we initialized everything. You can announce it by actually the event. So simply you need the creator, you need the beneficiary as per the definition, right? The creator, beneficiary, and then campaign URL, and then the funding maximum target in V, and then simply the deadline. That's it. Your basic smart contract for the crowd sale is done. You only now had to define the function for contribution. Contribute. That's it. So in the next lecture, we will type this we'll describe this definition, and we'll put a lot of conditions and modifiers and extend it and make it more complex. So in the upcoming lectures, it will become more complex and complex. Thank you.